districts and will be allowed to try to stay in the U.S. I'm Joseph Leahy from the Texas Newsroom.
Support for these Texas headlines comes from the online UT High School, offering a full-time diploma program and a variety of individual courses, including for advanced placements. Learn more about options for the new school year at highschool.utexas.edu. As North Texans grapple with the coronavirus pandemic, KERA is here to provide information and resources to support our communities. KERA helps connects you with public services, nonprofits, funds, and organizations that are working to help people in need. Learn how to get help or lend a helping hand at kera.org/help or visit kera.org/ayuda for resources in Spanish.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Progressive Insurance, committed to protecting cars and drivers, whether on the open road or having a driveway moment while listening to NPR. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. From EXCO, contributor to the Folio Open Source Project, which is working to develop the open source library services platform of the future. Learn more at folio.org. And from the sustaining members of this NPR station.
Okay, we're back again, and it's been days. It's slow going on this one for me, but I'm getting it. As you can see, I've got it kind of formed already. You can see the shapes getting there, but this little fishy has been a real job for me. So I'll show some things here. I'll go ahead and start using this file. I want to get down into these crevices to form those fins that are on his or her back. It's such a fragile area. I'm trying to use the knife, but because it's the way the grain is here, having a little bit of problem without it having to chip away for me, and that's not a good thing. So I'm going to try and get down here a little bit, but I still have a lot of cutting to do around the tail. And let me get here's my go-by. See, there's the 3 different sizes. All right. So it's this one, this little guy, small HippyFish, that's giving me trouble. I should have done the big one. Still a lot of cutting that I have to take away off his belly and get that round shape. It's in. So all this can come out. So that's going to be a big chunk to remove. And instead of keeping you here watching this, I'll see you later. I'm going to disconnect, shut down the video, and just work on this. I know, Tom, you could do this very quickly, not me. Okay, see y'all later. Okay, I'm going to continue to clean it up. I'm getting closer. So bear with me. As you can see, I've come a long way, but it's taken me a long time to get here. Not as fast as you, Tom. The eyes are starting to bulge out a little bit, which I want. Whoops! I think he's alive. I've been using some files to help make these indents in the fins. It's really helped make it go faster, and they've been correct in the shape that I wanted, which is much easier than cutting it with a knife. So next time I see you, it's going to be a while. It'll take me a while to get some of this done, but it'll be closer to the finished product, and I'm going to work some more on these openings in here around the back tail fins, so I can come down in here and carve that out. So thank you again for watching, and I'll be making some more videos and pictures so you can keep up with us. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, now I'm into the back tail. Actually got an opening, so I can go to the other side. So it's starting to form up. I still have quite a bit of detail in here to cut this away from that fin, and again use my file to come down on. It needs to come down a little bit more into here and take away that extra. But again, another couple days. And Tom, I know you could have had this done days ago. And I'll have it ready to sand, and then we'll get into painting. Okay, so again, here's this little spot that I can use my little round file all the way through, see, and help to open that up some more. All right, which I'll do the same when I get up here. All right, so see you back in, who knows, many hours. Thanks for watching. Okay, now I've got most of the shape done. I've got some refinements to do. So I'll be sanding and also carving in more to the fins on that back tail. And I'll show you some. I got little pieces of different types and different grades of sandpaper. And I also like to use emery boards. You can get it at the dollar store, 99 cents. And they work really well because I can break them like that and get into little corners and shape areas that I want to work on and smooth out that I can't reach really well with sandpaper because sandpaper bends, but I do double up on the sandpaper sometimes to make it stiffer. But then you do have the rough. Let's see, that's really rough, and that's more fine edge. So depending on where you're working on your piece, it really helps to get in those corners. Hi, welcome back. Here's my favorite part now. I'm going into painting this little hippie fish. And I know some wood carvers that say they hate the painting part, but I love it. I've already gotten the scales carved in, sanded it, pretty smooth. So now I'm going to do a base color of everything in a real nice, strong yellow. Not pale, I want it really strong. And I'm going to paint the whole fish with this yellow. I might have to do 2 coats for it to really give me a good base, but that's all right. I want everything to sort of connect, and the best way to do it, and the easiest way, is to give your whole piece one base color, whether it's black, raw umber, or some other color. Navy blue works well too, but on this one, because mine's a she, is a HippyFish, I'm going to paint the whole thing in a base of yellow, whereas it will pop out those other colors that are included in the go-by. As you see, there's lots of bright pinks, there's blues, there's purples, just about any color if you're a little HippyFish. So I need a piece of toweling. I don't want to get paint on my holder here. So, okay, as you see, it's moving along pretty quick. And it's very easy to do. You just keep swishing that paint around. You don't have to be really particular because it's going to go in every nook and cranny that you have. Come on, little fishy. As you can see, there's some areas already painted that dry. This acrylic paint dries pretty quick and solidifies. I'm using Grumbacher's. It's the Academy acrylic, and it's a good quality basic paint. It won't cost an arm and a leg for you to purchase it, but it's only one of many brands that you can get on the in stores and online. But the quality is really pretty good for a student type of paint. I think I'm going to have to pour some more out onto my little plate palette. See my plate palette? Okay. I use a plate and put saran wrap or plastic wrap around it to keep it from getting the paint on the on the plate. So when I get done and I have other colors added in here, I will just pull off that plastic and throw it away. Easy peasy. So here we go. So I'll see you in the next segment and we'll do another color. All right. Bye-bye. Hi, welcome back. Okay, as you can see, I have painted the yellow on the fish and actually did 2 coats. The first coat I let dry and I sanded it with the light sandpaper. The finest grit that I have is this one. Here it is. It's 1000, so it's a pretty fine grit. And then I went ahead and cleaned it up with my little wire brush again, and then applied another coat of yellow paint. And then I went ahead and did the fins, tail fins, and the side fins by the gills. And I did a blue, and then I came back with white and accented it. So it's not just one color. Now I'm going to add orange today, do a little bit of orange coloring, because as you can see, there's the original sketch, the go-by, and we do have some big lips on the fish and some orange around the front of the face and near the end of the tail, fins, and coming into the body. So I'm going to do that right now and let it dry after that. And I'm going to mix a little bit of paint. I'm going to make a nice orange, nice strong, rich orange, so it shows up well. And now that it's already got some coated paint on it that's dried, it will help the paints that go on top to actually stay better and be a stronger coating. Alright, so I think I've got the orange that I want. Alright, here we go. So first I'm going to do the face and the lips. And And around the gill. I'm going to be careful going around there. And then I'm going to come up on the frontal lobe of the fish. And a little bit around the eye. Whereas it'll blend in eventually to the yellow. I just take my finger and kind of spread it a little bit so there's not so much of a line. And again, underneath his belly, or her belly, we're not sure if this is a female or a male, so. And then I'm going to spread it a little bit here. And don't worry about it if you do make a mistake and it goes somewhere you don't want it. Let it dry. Acrylic is a forgiving paint, and you can just go ahead and go back and touch it up later. And that's what I love about the paint media itself. Again, around the fin, the gill, carefully, and then I'm going to spread it up there a little bit with my finger. Fingers make great paintbrushes. Okay, around the lips. And there's going to have to be a distinction between the lips and the orange color. I'll come back and I think repaint the orange a little bit lighter, more in the yellow range, but that's fine. Sometimes you don't see these things until you get them on your piece, and then you say, well, okay, I don't like that color, and I'm going to put something else there, which is fine. Again, use the finger to spread. Okay. I want to go around the eye a little bit. Okay. All right, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry and come back and lighten this orange up a little bit on that frontal of the face. See you in a bit. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so now I'm going to lighten up this orange at the front of the face so I can make a distinction between the mouth and the front of the fish's face. I did do a little bit too dark, but that's all right. It'll show up as another color. I don't want that going into the mouth, so we're going to take my finger, my trusty finger again, and I'm going to paint over that. Okay. And again, I made a little mistake there by the mouth and went in too far. But I'm going to come back and take the acrylic after it dries and fix it. Yeah, that's better. That strong red was just too much. Red, orange. Oops, lost my brush. Okay. Get my the mix I used to make the new color here is a little bit of orange, red, and the one I had already mixed up for the mouth area. And I added some more yellow, lots of yellow, and then I went ahead and added some white to lighten it even more. I think you can see the difference in that. It helps it. And you just separate it from the mouth. And I can come back and this part here over the mouth, I can straighten that up. When this light orange dries, I'll come back and touch up that other red because the lips are more red, and I'll just detail that more with the red. Okay, I think that's it. Now, to the back, there is a little part of orange in my original illustration right here by the tail that I want to blend in again to the yellow. And into the back tail fins, just a little. So I'm going to flip him over so I can get this other part. Let's hold him steady. He's wiggling. So what you do to one side, you do to the other. You don't want to have one side with more orange or more blue. You want them pretty similar in the color variations. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, set it aside, let it dry for a while, and we'll go on to the next step. See you later. Hi, welcome back. The next step is the fins. I'm going to be painting those a lavender, and look at the go by again, sort of a lavender purple. So I'm going to mix some colors for that, and lavender is usually a little bit of red and blue, so I've got some ultramarine blue, and it's not a very big part of the fish, so I don't need very much mixed up. And a little bit of red, and of course I've got to lighten it, so we don't want it to look like black. So as you can see, let's see, I need some white. There we go. There's the lavender. So I took some blue, some red, and some white, and I mixed it. So that's what I'm going to apply to the fin area. Again, this is going over yellow, which is a complement, almost a complement of purple. So you want to make sure, if you have to do 2 coats on it, do 2 coats so it covers it. You don't want that yellow peeking through because it will gray the tone up of the lavender. And since this is a HippyFish, you want it to be as bright and strong a color as you can make it. Here's one part. See, a little bit of the yellow's peeking through, but acrylic dries pretty quick. I can probably come back and repaint that really quick. So, welcome back. Okay, since the purple has dried a little bit, I like to use gel pens sometimes on wood, and this one has sort of a glittery finish to it. But let's look at the little sketch again. As you can see, the fins, scales, some in the fins. There's a little bit of that blue, and I'll probably put some into the back tail. So, let's see how this works. And if it doesn't, I'll just go back to painting and use a real fine paintbrush. No, it seems to be working fine. So all I want is a little fine line on the edge of those scales to pop them out a little bit more. Gel pens are good for tight areas where you can't get a paintbrush into also. There's one side. I'll do the other side. There. I think that's enough. Yeah, we've got a little one down here. I better get him. Look at that extra scale. Okay, now to the top fins. All I need is a little line. And the gel pen again works fabulous. There. We'll go to the bottom and then the other side. And then I want to add some lines in here to the back tail fins, just so that you can see this. There we go. That works great. Let's see. Just slightly. Again, you can use a brush if you want. I don't like these lines so squiggly, so straighten them out a little bit. There. Okay. And onto the eye, I'll go ahead and mark the eye area out first. And, well, you know what? I'm going to do the mouth a little bit because it does need some highlights. So, got a little bit of lighter orange. Oops, let me clean that off. A little bit of lighter orange around this area. And then again, I want to take my finger and kind of rub that in. Not make it too sharp of a difference in the color. And on the other side. Just to make it appear there to be more of a shadow inside the inner mouth where the lips come together. A little bit more here. Now in my drawing I do have a lot of black lines that I used to originally do the sketch, and I might try to reproduce those in this, especially around the lip section here, and see how that works. If not, I can repaint it. Now to do that I'm going to use I have a fine Sharpie, and which one of you guys is going to volunteer? Let's see. There we go. And let's see if I can line that with black. So far, so good. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, the little hippie fish is all painted. I did do a black outline with a fine marker around its lips, and I add a little blue on its gill here, a line to distinguish it, and there you see the lines with the gel pen on the back tail fins. So now I'm going to, and I also forgot to mention, added the black around the eye area, so it's going to really pop out, and then added a dot of white on each eye. And now I'm going to go to the center of the eye, and I want to make a hole or an indent in this area because I'm going to add a bead, sort of a shiny silver bead, for the inside of that eye. So now the wood did come apart there. I can touch that up. That's all right. But that little bead's got to go in there. Now the other side. This takes a little while to get. I might even put just a chip of a bead in there so it's tiny enough, or clean that out with another tool, a wood carving tool that I have that could widen that up. want to be careful that I don't crack it. So maybe I can, I'll use another blade here that might work a little better. So, yeah, see that? I'll have to add a little glue because that came apart a little bit on that eye section, and touch it up later. So, next step is whoa, I'm going to add that little bead. So the next image you'll see, it's pretty much going to be done except for putting the final coating on everything and making it look like a little shiny fish. Okay? So, see you back in a bit.